great pleasure to be here with you, with the friends dealing with the migration within the Europe. As Professor already mentioned, my presentation will focus on the EU-Turkey deal, lessons learned. Maybe you are interested that I am working with the informal name of such instrument, but this is more, I think, sexy, and maybe it is more in our recognition that this form of the name EU-Turkey deal is much more presented within the media. So I just try to be very resistant to change it. So if we are talking about the EU-Turkey deal, my presentation will focus on the results of the EU-Turkey deal as well as the situation after the EU-Turkey deal. But if we want to appropriately discuss the EU-Turkey deal, we need to go a little bit back in time because EU-Turkey deal is the final step of the European Union and Turkey cooperation within the focusing on the issue of the Syrians coming to Europe, especially through the Turkey. Mainly European Union wanted to prevent irregular migration flows to the European Union. So the final step was the EU-Turkey statement in 2016, and it was published in the form of the press release on the website of the European Council. The main focus of this EU-Turkey statement was the fight against smuggling, also protection of external borders, and more specific resettlement of one Syrian from Turkey to Greece for every Syrian readmitted by Turkey from Greek islands. And from the Turkey point of view, the main focus was on the visa liberalization as well as a revival of the accession negotiation of Turkey to European Union. So what are the lessons learned from this EU-Turkey deal? The first of all, it is the migration flow and also the change of the routes, migration routes to the European Union. Because as you can see, the numbers, the statistics on the website of the Frontex and other organizations. So this is just but you can see, of course, the numbers are changing, but I don't think that this is something that was solved by the EU-Turkey deal. So if you want to look for the Hungary or for Slovakia, Romania, etc., so you can see, but maybe the numbers are very small to see. Another lesson was the change of the migration routes. As you can see, the result of the EU-Turkey deal was the closing the Eastern Mediterranean route from Turkey to Europe, which resulted also to closing the Western Balkan. But the closing the door means that we opened 4 more windows to Europe. So there was a Central Mediterranean and Western Mediterranean route, and as well from Portugal and Spain to the Europe. So if you see now on the maps, we open the roads for the migrants, especially from African continent, coming to Europe through this Mediterranean Sea route and also Eastern Mediterranean route. However, this was not only the one impact of the EU-Turkey deal on the migration flow, but also EU-Turkey deal has an impact on the principle of legal certainty, as well as solidarity between the EU states, and we have some examples. Because the EU-Turkey deal was the subject of the jurisdiction of the European Union courts. So I picked up one of, I think, the most important cases where a General Court of the European Union had to deal with the with the application of three, I think it was Pakistani citizens coming to Greece by the boat from Turkey. And they argued that this act, EU-Turkey deal, was attributable to the European Council, and it was establishing agreement contrary to EU law. And they claimed the annulment of the agreement. On the other side, the European Council argued that they had no intent to produce legally binding effects of the agreement. So the court has to deal with two questions. If the statement is attributable to the European Council, and if so, is it considered to be in the form of the international agreement? Because the Treaty of the Functioning of the European Union gives court the power to review the legality of the acts of the EU institutions, but not acts of national internal bodies or governments. So, as the EU-Turkey deal or statement, as you want, work with the ward members of the European Council at the European Union, it cannot be considered as a measure adopted by the European Council, and the court dismissed the action on the grounds of the court's lack of jurisdiction to hear and determine it. But it was not the end of this case. The applicants also applied for the appeal. They brought the appeals against the orders of the General Court in front of the European Court of Justice, and they seek the annulment of such previous orders of the General Court. But the European Court of Justice argued that every appeal must precisely indicate the contested elements of the appealed order, as well as the legal arguments specifically supporting the appeal. And as far as the appeal contained only general assertions that the General Court disregarded a certain number of the EU law principles without precision of the contested element in the orders or legal arguments in support for the annulment, ICJ dismissed the appeals as manifestly inadmissible. And another lessons learned is that every migration deal has to be in compliance with existing law, especially international law, because states need to fulfill their obligations, which they accepted without any force. After the failure of the measures of the EU-Turkey deal, the states had to deal with the migration flows on their own. So. Especially, there were violations of the rights, human rights in general, but specifically I pointed out on the rights of refugees. According to the Geneva Refugee Convention, there is a principle of non-discrimination. Because the violation of this principle we can see on the fact that the EU-Turkey deal was designed mainly in relation, to the Syrian refugees. So there was a discrimination based on the country of origin, and also from the Turkey point of view, Turkey was allowed to accept the applicants just fleeing from Europe. Another principle is non-penalization, and this was violated by the conditions in the camps, militarization of the areas, and also discussed already first pushbacks on the borders, especially in relation to Greece. And the last one, but not least, principle of non-refoulement, which is the base for the refugee law. And there was a violation because there was impossibility to apply for asylum for some applicants and persons, and as well, Turkey is not anymore considered to be the third safe country. Within the camps of the migrants with special status of the refugee, there was very poor conditions in these camps. So another, or the last maybe lesson learned is the impact on the solidarity system within the European Union, because EU-Turkey deal came after the failure of the European system of redistribution of migrants and asylum seekers. With the main focus to help Italy and Greece. And we already saw the numbers that this was not the case. And the solidarity and maybe cooperation between the states of the European Union was contested also within the judgments of the ICJ. For example, two very important cases, Slovak Republic and Hungary versus Council of the European Union, as Slovakia and Hungary considered such relocation decisions as unlawful, but ICJ dismissed ruled inadmissibility of their actions. And the second case is the EU Commission versus Poland, Czech Republic, and Hungary for the actions for failure to fulfill obligations. As ICJ ruled out that Poland, Czech Republic, and Hungary failed to indicate on regular intervals an appropriate number of applicants for the international protection for relocation, and the main reason was that relocation decisions included also possibility to deny a relocation on the basis of the security, and also the states can conduct additional security checks. So, what is the new in this area? The European Union is working on the new pact on migration and asylum, which should replace current Dublin regulation on three voluntary choices of the states on relocation, financial contribution, and also other solidarity measures as capacity building. But states are maybe in the middle of the discussions about such scheme. So. When we want to conclude the lessons learned from the EU-Turkey deal, I think that everybody who is creating the new migration deal within the European Union or anywhere else in the world should bear in mind that that provisions can bring worse conditions. Also can make a legal chaos, so the states had to bear in mind the legal certainty. And also they need to avoid negative impact of such deals. On the one side, for the status of the migrants, and on the other side, for the relations between the states. And we need to make or work on a balance between the states' interests of the states and also the humanity. So thank you very much for your patience.